It all starts with this. This is the ultimate power.
Hello everybody, it's me, your good friend Sparky, and welcome back to the finale of Sonic Heroes. We've played as all 4 teams and seen where their adventures have taken them, and we collected all the Chaos Emeralds along the way, which unlocks this. The main bad guy was not Dr. Eggman, and it's time to see exactly who he is as we journey into the last story.
Then who was it? Who locked you up here for trying to conquer the world?
It was...
All living things kneel before your master.
Metal Sonic has finally transformed!
So that's Metal Sonic?
It's useless! Metal Sonic has combined your data with the power of chaos and is super strong! We can't defeat it! Ah, if only we had the 7 Chaos Emeralds! What's this? But how? Even with the Emerald's power, our chances for victory are slim. It would take a miracle.
Just leave that to me, Doc.
Sonic, no! I'm going with you too!
Tails.
You can count me in too.
Knuckles.
Okay, guys, we'll buy you some time. That way you can use your superpowers.
Okay then, let's get ready to do this. We'll show that creep the real superpower of teamwork!
I freaking love that entire segment. But now it's time to do battle with the powered up Metal Sonic.
You're the one pretending to be Sonic! You're the one responsible for taking Sonic and Takoa! I can't believe you would do such a thing!
You're going to pay me!
In this grueling battle with Metal Madness, we need to work through 3 distinct segments of the fight where we rotate between the different teams while Team Sonic prepares to unleash their ultimate power. It's pretty simple at first, appropriately with Team Rose, as we just need to weave around his missiles, flamethrower, and tail swipes to attack the glowing weak point orb in his torso right there.
We're done! You guys ready?
It's too late.
formation isn't quite complete yet.
Incomplete! Freeze!
You're all useless now that I've copied all your data.
But of course, as the fight goes on, it gets a little more difficult as we swap over to Team Chaotix. Since he's fixed in the center of the battle arena there, Metal Sonic can no longer reach us with his flamethrower. He can still hit us with his tail, and he can still attack us with the missiles from his back. But now he also has a new attack, firing a different form of missile from his other hand. That type of missile fires crystal domes at you that can trap your teammates. And if all of your teammates get trapped, then that counts as losing a life, and you have to start this segment of the fight over again. Notably, too, dealing damage to Metal Sonic also becomes not quite as easy. That orb there is now changing color, and when it changes color, it shows you what team member can no longer deal damage to him. When it's red, Vector can't deal any damage in this case. When it's yellow, Charmy can't deal any damage. And when it's blue, as it was at the beginning of the fight, Espio, or rather Amy in that case, can't deal any damage either. So you've got to switch to the appropriate team member in order to deal lots and lots of damage. Usually swapping between power and flying is recommended in this case because they are your primary long-range attackers. Trying to go after him with your speed member, it does work, but it's usually not super advisable, considering you can accidentally fall off the edge of the stage if you're not careful.
We're almost done here! Now it's up to you!
This victory shall soon turn into despair.
So you're the one who did all this.
Consuming power of others at your own will. And that's supposed to make you tough?
New target acquisition. Site marked on Metal Sonic.
Level up!
The ultimate life form can't stop me.
And for the last part of the fight, we take him on from the front with Team Dark. He can utilize basically all of his attacks at this point, aside from the tail swipe, though the tail swipe really wasn't that much trouble to begin with. Of course, we've got to avoid these crystal domes as we try to deal damage, and unfortunately, it's not always that easy. They have a bit of an odd range on them. It's a lot bigger and captures you more easily than you might think. So just avoiding them entirely and trying to get away from them is definitely advisable. But other than that, you start to get a feel for the flow of the fight at this point. You've got to try and get up close to him so you can deal damage while dodging around all of his different attacks. And like I said, using power and flying in this case is usually the recommended thing to do. Also importantly, you can find the level up orbs scattered about the different parts of the battle arena, and leveling up to maximum is also certainly recommended, as is building up your team blast gauge if you can do that. Other than that, though, once you start to get a feel for the fight, it starts to become a lot easier. You start to get a hang of his attacks, and you start to get a hang of the appropriate time to get in there and deal damage. And there are little tricks and methods for getting around some of his more difficult attacks, too. That crystal one, the crystal dome one, is definitely the one you have to watch out for the most, because it can kind of just suck you in like that. But if you take off into the air like this, or if you get in the cannon in Team Chaotix's case, you can dodge it entirely. It's not too difficult, all things considered. This fight, it takes some getting used to, but once you are used to it, it definitely ends up being a pretty basic final boss battle. Though, it's not really truly the final boss, of course, because Team Sonic hasn't had a turn yet. Just a couple more hits, and we're moving on.
Sonic, we're
We're counting on you.
How appropriate to have a robot overlord rule a robot kingdom.
But he's not going to go down that easily, of course. We've got one more part. With Metal Madness having transformed one more time, it's time to take him on with our own transformation as Team Supersonic.
Long time no see, Sonic. My lonesome copy.
In a battle that involves my favorite final boss music of any Sonic game. Sorry, Open Your Heart. Sorry, Live and Learn. This is where it's at. This is what I'm made of. In the final fight with Metal Overlord, you can't deal any damage to him directly. The entire fight is about countering his attacks and building up your Team Blast gauge, and hitting him often enough with the Team Blast to finally take him down. He has several different attacks that he can hit you with, his favorite being shooting crystals at you. But he can also dive under the clouds here and grab battleships from Eggman's fleet to toss at you, and also attack you with those missiles from his back again. As you are going through the fight, the entire point of the battle is to swap between the different team members in order to counter the appropriate attack. When he's shooting crystals at you, you need to swap over to Sonic in order to use Rocket Excel to break through the crystals and quickly build up your Team Blast gauge. When he's firing missiles at you, you need to switch over to your flying character, well, you need to switch over to Tails, rather, and shoot down the missiles with Thundershoot. And when he goes and grabs battleships to attack you with, you need to swap over to Knuckles in order to knock them out of the sky. If you get the hang of it, if you get the flow of the fight, this battle can go by rather quickly. Again, it's just learning his attacks and learning the best ways to maneuver around them and counter them. Of course, when you're dealing with a supersonic fight, you've got to deal with your ring count counting down slowly in the corner. So it is a race against the clock here. If you're not careful, you can run out of rings and you'd have to start the fight over again. And naturally, these missiles can still capture you too. If they capture one of your teammates, of course, you can't swap to them, so you need to free them as well. But usually, spamming Thundershoot is generally the way to go in order to keep that from happening. As big and as powerful as Metal Overlord is, he is really no match for Team Supersonic. They are totally built for countering him in every single way, and it's just a matter of strategizing and swapping to the right team member to deal the final blow, which is coming up pretty soon here.
Yeah! We did it!
That was pretty tough. Too bad it's all over. For you!
It's no use. But why can't I defeat you?
Because we're Sonic Heroes.
Sonic!
Anytime you want a rematch, just let me know. I'll be waiting.
Hey, Sonic, wait up! Sorry to leave like this, but I can't let my Sonic get away. Good luck,
Sonic sure has his hands full.
I guess I'm out of here too. I think I'll go hunt for someone else's treat.
She never gives up, does she? Oh, no, you don't. Wait!
Guess that's it for this case.
Guess so.
But what about our money?
Man, I almost forgot. That slime ball!
All right! Our next adventure awaits us, so there's no time to waste. Yeah! We're Sonic Heroes! What goes up must come down. Yeah, my feet don't touch the ground.
And with that, we have reached the end of Sonic Heroes. Overall, this finale is not terribly long in comparison to some of the other supersonic finales of different Sonic games. But I just love it. I love the entire thing. That initial Metal Madness transformation cutscene, the final battle with What I Made Of playing in the background. Even though Sonic Heroes, it might not be my favorite Sonic game, it definitely has my favorite finale to any Sonic game. And I don't think much can top it. It is just like the perfect storm of epicness and awesomeness, and I just love it so much. Sonic Heroes overall, though, I guess now is an appropriate time to talk about my final thoughts on the game. It's got its share of problems with its overall design, and it's not a good thing, unfortunately. Sonic Heroes has a lot of issues with it that a lot of people have pointed out and a lot of people have complained about. I complained about the stage length and things like that at length during this project. But overall, like, as an entire package, it really doesn't end up distracting from the ultimate enjoyment that I get out of this game. I have played this game a lot. And while it had been a while since my last playthrough and I was kinda rusty, I just... Man, this game is just pure joy. It is a lot more basic than the likes of Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2, and a lot more simple than the likes of games that came after it. But it just works overall as an entire package, I think. Despite its faults, despite its flaws, despite it having some issues that I wish they could have worked out in another sequel that followed this same gameplay format, Sonic Heroes is definitely a very enjoyable game. And if you get a chance to play it, I would definitely recommend it. I wish this game was more widely available in the modern age of video gaming. But overall, you just kind of have to dig around for a used copy if you want to play it right now. Hopefully it does get a re-release in the future, so more people can experience it and enjoy it, its faults included. But that's going to be it for right now. Thank you very much for watching Sonic Heroes. This is your good friend Sparky signing off. And maybe we'll worry about getting all of the A ranks some other time, because that's a task in its own right. But anyway, I'll catch you later.